Marshall skips away. Marshall skips away. Marshall's still going. Marshall's got Richards coming up outside. Now inside.
Arsenal have gone through an entire league campaign without losing.
Bennett and the Dragons win the grand final.
Whips that one away, and Kane Williamson and his team now World Test champions.
Welcome back to the TGIF podcast. Thank God it's footy. How's the week been, bro?
Listeners, viewers, g'day as always. Well, good to be back. Back at work this week after a little bit of a layover with the
old
feature.
yeah.
So good to be back. Good to have a bit of sun. I think, I'm a big, what do they call it? Seasonal depressive syndrome, I think is what it's called. I reckon I'm a hardy candidate for that. Big fan of the sun and not a big fan of the poor weather. So nice to have a bit of sun, get a few swims in under the belt has been good.
Shit, yeah.
And over the weekend got to see the old Tigs come away with a pretty solid win and a good Arsenal game as well. So it's been a pretty good week in terms of the sport. But good to be back as always and here to talk a little bit more rubbish about what we've had and what we've got coming up over the next week or so.
Absolutely, yeah. Not too much on my front to report on. Just moving down here into the new room and yeah, other than that, just trucking away at work and looking forward to the footy returning proper this week. It's going to be awesome. Yeah. Can't wait for that. Although the Dragons aren't in action.
Yeah, the old bye to start her off, 2 points.
Yep, 2 points banked.
So that's always nice.
Middle of the pack there, maybe ninth with the points difference.
And then we're looking at the, I don't know who was commentating this game, but it was called possible game of the round. Tags up against the Titans, the last game there on the Sunday night. So, that was seen beforehand as that game that's probably going to be the shittest of the lot, and they chuck it in that slot. I know that I don't know if we ever spoke about it on here, but we've spoke about it before, the old fucking, the way that they plan their fixtures and the time slots that certain teams get, and I swear fucking Tigers always on at that time, at least over the last few years.
Last slot on the Sunday?
Yeah, shit time to watch league. It's a hard one. Like, I think your Friday, your first game on a Friday, awesome. And your second game on a Saturday is usually a banger as well. But I guess
always Penrith in that second game.
Yeah, or Melbourne or someone like that, or Friday.
Or Friday Broncos.
Yeah, so there are certain teams. Quite often Storm also on a Thursday. I swear,
Yeah.
So
a lot of home games on a Thursday, I reckon.
It's one of those things as well, where I guess fucking they've probably thought Tigers and Titans bit of a blowout, but nah, looking forward to it. Now, unfortunately, no money made for you over the last week or so. Now, I know that last week I chimed in and had a little cheeky pun along the side, and I've done it again. And this time I've managed to bring it to you early, so that if you do manage to tune in somehow before this happens, possibly not, but at least you're hearing it beforehand, so you've got the proof, I guess, listeners and everyone out there. Now, I don't know what it was I won last week, a couple $100.
Breaking in the units, on the darts there.
Just these side ones, yeah. Now I had another one.
The punting gods are on your side with those ones, but none of the recorded bets are coming on.
Nah, unfortunately not, but it's the old king of the Yoki. Now it's you win your match, your most 180s and your highest checkout. And I put a bet on the night before, and it was for the 3 of the 4. Was it that? Yeah. Ooh, no, I might have done. Yeah, 3 of the 4 first games of the Premier League, and it didn't come off. So when I woke up and I'd seen that I'd got one of the games wrong, I had a little bit of money left in the account, and I chucked it on. So I put on $10, and it was for Michael Smith, King of the Yoki against Gizzy, and then Johnny Clayton up against Dobie, and $10, 32-22 with the old price boost came in nice and handy, and I've gone out again, and we'll fill you in a little bit later on this one, but it's big. So it's worthy of staying to the end this time, I think. You'll be happy if this one comes off.
Yeah, let's just say not often a bet sort of gets people aroused, but
Arousal.
I wouldn't be surprised if there is some arousal around this bet.
I've aroused 2 people with this bet. I've got two people, you and one other, who are keen to jump on, and it's I'm looking forward to tomorrow morning. I'm going to be trying to sneak in viewing where I can. Maybe I think we might be doing a little bit of old learning through play in the morning. So maybe chucking on in the background and a bit of maths as well. So I guess. Probably time to get get into a little bit of the news and bits and pieces that have come out over the last week or so.
Yeah, I mean we've already started talking about the footy there, but we'll crack on a bit more with a few more things that have happened over the last sort of week or so. Manly coming out the eventual winners of the pre-season challenge there, so congrats to them on that 100k.
100k, yep, well done to them. I know Jay, a mate of ours, Jay, he's a big Manly fan, and he was pretty stoked to get the win there early on. And I think the Doggies and the Sharkies game, I think, if either one of them, it was the Sharky. Yeah, but then I heard something that apparently they got to like equal points or something like that, and then it was going to be offloads. Fuck, don't quote me, I don't know.
Yeah, I actually think that is true.
Something buzzy, like...
they were giving points for offloads, tries.
But... apparently, the Sharks didn't know that you won something if you won it, and they only needed fucking 5 more offloads or 6 more offloads or some shit like that. And if you just start fucking throwing them out the back, left, right, and centre, and a little bit of ka-ching in the bank, so.
A little bit of moolah, yeah.
And well done to Manly.
I don't think anyone's turning their nose up at 100k, but
no, not at all.
I'm sure the NRL clubs are.
It also, good news for them. It also looks like Tommy
Turbo
back, apparently for round 1. They reckon it's one of those. I think it's one of those rushed ones probably, and you can see him pulling up in round 2 or round 3 or something like that. Touch wood for him, and that it doesn't happen like that. But you hope he's not being rushed back too early. But they've clearly got some players there that can do the job without him. So maybe is it a case of, waiting that little bit longer and seeing how this team goes round 1?
Yeah, it'd be very tempting to chuck Tom Trbojevic back in your footy side. He's a fantastic player to say the least. He, is injury prone though. So, like you said,
he's
maybe
made of fucking glass nearly, yeah.
Maybe a couple of weeks extra, getting his body ready and easing into it might be the smart thing to do. We'll have to see how Seabold and the Manly team play it. But yeah, obviously going well enough without him at this stage in the preseason.
Oh, exactly. And then, obviously, for those of you that had been keeping up with it and you'd seen the table and you'd seen that there was 18 teams involved in this pre-season tournament, and you might have thought, what the fuck's going on here? We had St Helens who had come down and both games were played in Aussie. Yeah,
yep, they played us last week.
Played the Dragons last week. Got the win.
Got the win. Yep. Us, yeah.
And then big game. Up against Penrith, the club challenge there, and who would have thought this one, eh?
Managing to getting up at Penrith.
Get up and take the win. I saw a meme and it was Moses. I think it was Moses' son, and then Luai Daddy, and then Roby Popper, or something along those lines. I thought, fucking, I like to see something like that. But it's cool to see, a team from the UK coming down and getting a win like that. They got a fucking super stacked team.
Yeah, I mean, we haven't seen too many Super League teams be able to come down to Aussie and get a win in recent times. Pretty huge for them to do that because we don't we don't often see NRL teams even getting up over them at Penrith, and there's certainly a stigma that NRL teams are stronger than the Super League sides. I mean, Penrith fans are maybe pointing at a few players that weren't playing for them that are pretty vital, but end of the day, sure there's no excuses from the team and they'll be pretty disappointed. But look, like you said, James Roby, nearly 600 games into his first grade career there. Don't know how old he is, 37 or 38?
37, I think.
Like you said.
He's an old bloke though, and he's out there and he's running around with all these young fellas and
Becoming Jerome Luai's father in the process.
Exactly, yeah. Adoption papers were signed, and stepfather.
James Roby.
So, congratulations
Granddaddy
to
of
Roby.
Penrith.
Yeah.
But the granddaddy of Parramatta and the daddy of Penrith.
Yeah, congratulations to him and the rest of that English team that basically were out there. There was about 6 or 7 internationals there who we'd sort of seen, during the World Cup there, and that good, strong side of England who were playing in that team. And obviously it shows that you've got a team who are sort of playing together on both fronts internationally and club like that. It helps, that's for sure.
Yeah, none better than Jack Wellesby. I mean...
one of my favourites from the World Cup.
Yeah, he was a beast at the World Cup, and I mean, he had a blinder of a game here, just confirming to sort of everyone down under footy fans that there's some talent up there in the UK.
There's a couple of those players you could definitely see coming down to the NRL. And
yeah, he's only 21.
Doing a trick, so it wouldn't surprise me if we saw him one day.
Exactly what I was about to say.
Down under.
Testing the waters down under, testing the Australian competition there, or Australian and New Zealand competition. He would slot straight in, I reckon, just about anywhere at the back or in the 6 jersey. A few players obviously penciled into their jerseys at respective clubs there, but I'm sure there'd be 17 clubs willing to make room for a player like that.
Well and truly,
if they could. But look, heartbreaking news out of this one for Penrith there. Taylor May, torn ACL in this one, so he's out for the remainder of 2023 after having such a good breakout year last year.
Takes the total ACL injuries over the weekend to 2. I believe Dean Eremaya from the Storm. He also pulled out with an ACL, so 2 blokes who will be pretty gutted. But yeah, really unfortunate for Taylor May. Obviously, had such an awesome season last year, and he would have been pretty keen to get out there and try and do it again. But I guess it gives an opportunity for someone else from this line of players that they keep being able to produce to make their way up respectively as someone else comes into that first team. And
there was a pretty quick winger there for Penrith in that first game. I can't remember his name now, but he looked like a carbon copy of Charlie Staines. I'm sure he'll slot in, or they'll have someone that I'm not thinking of. But yeah, pretty gutting for Taylor in there. And Dean.
Not nice though when you see an injury like that in pre-season. It's not what you're after.
A week out, 2 weeks out.
You got Pano Jr. as well. Up injured. He's set to miss the start of the season.
He's set to miss 2 or 3 rounds there with a hammy strain. I think Josh Schuster something similar. I'm not sure if it's a hamstring as well, but set to miss at least the opening round. And I see you're looking up Mitchell Moses there.
Oh, I've just seen what you've got down there. I don't know if that is I don't think it's official.
It's not official. Apparently.
I think it's just that he's turned us down. He's rejected our deal, but he hasn't actually signed on. I was talking to Imogen at work about it, and she said that hasn't signed on as yet. But who knows?
Reportedly, allegedly.
Yeah, whatever you
signed another 4-year deal.
Go for
Para there. I think the offer was from both sides there. 1.25 million a year, but 4 years at Para for 5 million, and 5 years at West for 6.25 there. So he's turned his nose up at an extra 1.25 million. Not to say that in that 5th year at Para he wouldn't be earning good coin anyway, but exactly, I don't know if he'll be able to still get that $1 million price tag as an aging halfback. I'm not sure. How old is he? Nearly 30?
Who got the tab up, don't I? 28.
28, so
29
4
in
years of
September,
32. So they might squeeze another 3-4 year contract out of him, but I don't know if it'll be as lucrative. Depends how he plays. He could turn into the next Joey Johns.
If they win him, if he can win them a couple of premierships,
Exactly.
then
I'm sure they'll pay him handsomely.
Oh, exactly.
If
Yeah.
he stays on there, but yeah, obviously, like you said, turning down that offer to return back to West there, probably the grand final run of last year might have tempted him to stay, stick around and see if he can go one better over the next couple of years.
Because he's still had a year left on his contract, eh?
I think so, yeah.
So it's it wouldn't even surprise me maybe if he didn't sign anything yet and wait. Like what happens if? I mean, it's highly unlikely it's going to happen. But what happens if you're in game week 12? Tigers are sitting in second with this absolute turnaround of a team with Appy and IPAP and Bateman's come into the team by that stage, with Dewey's playing good footy hopefully, and you've just seen this influence that Sheensy and Benji have had on the team, and he was just sitting there like around the edge of the 8 or something like that, and he's going, oh well fuck, like I haven't signed on yet, like Brooksy, tell the lads to fucking put in another deal, fucking I could be keen now to come on for next year, like you boys look like you're going to give it a good crack and I might have more chance there. You call me a deluded Tigers fan all you want, but there is that possibility. Like we've seen other teams who have come out of the blue and fucking, you think about the Cowboys last year, what sort of team they all were picked, I guess, to be at the start of the season, and Todd Payton seemed to just really turn it around there for them, I think, And
yeah, I think I picked them for the spoon.
Players like Nanai, coming out, and we've got fucking, we don't really have a player like Nanai coming into the fold, but there's going to be players that can hopefully have that breakout season, and players that have come from teams, three grand final playing players come into the team. So, hey, doesn't sign on. Game week 12, round second place. We play the Eels maybe, so I don't know when we first played Para, but maybe it's then. We beat them by 20. Fuck, I could be keen to go and play with Adam, he looks quite fucking tasty.
Next thing you know, Mitchell Moses has signed a 5-year deal at West, but we'll have to wait and see what happens there because, like you said, nothing's been officially announced, I suppose, by either party. So, yeah, have to wait and see there. But
I see you got something here about Barbecue Gate 2.0. What's this? I don't think I've seen.
Have you not seen?
I don't think I've seen any of
Apparently,
this.
yeah, a bit of drama coming out of the Dragons. A heated exchange between two players after a night out at a hotel.
What's going on? How Dragon Stars 6 a.m. dust up exposed Griven's biggest issue. Ravalawa and Musgrove. That's a pretty. Ravalawa told club officials he was too drunk to remember, while Musgrove was also understood to be heavily intoxicated. I bet you they can both probably drink quite a bit as well. Big blokes. Who wins that, you reckon?
Look, Ravalawa
is a
huge fella, but then Zane Musgrove is not small.
He's a prop.
He's used to the tough stuff, but so is Rava. He's an NRL winger. Wingers don't really.
It's a different breed, these days. I haven't seen any of this. So yeah, it could have been a bit of a Barbecue Gate 2.0. I don't think
could be a boxing bout to tee up at the end of the year.
Yeah,
possibly.
that would be bloody good undercard for Paul Gallen.
But yeah, look, probably a bit of nothing, but yeah, Barbecue Gate 2.0 is definitely not something we need with everyone tipping us for the spoon.
Not at all. Not at all.
Coming off a 42-24 loss there to Souths in the Charity Shield.
Couldn't hold on to it after taking the win last year, unfortunately, and I didn't see much of this game, but from what I've read, it didn't seem like the best performance from the Dragons, unfortunately.
Yeah, I mean, I think it was, a lot of people were kind of expecting Souths to do us one in this match, but Yeah, that's exactly the way it sort of played out, really. They raced up to a huge lead early, and I mean, we managed to get a few tries back late to put 24 points on the
It
board
was a
there.
couple of late tries, yeah.
Yeah, but look, it was like 26-0 at one stage, and if you look at the score report, it's all lopsided.
Oh, I have
Everything's
actually. I
second
remember
half
looking
for
at-
us, isn't it?
4 tries in the second half, 26-0 at half time. The game's over, unfortunately. Yeah.
So it's kind of unfortunate, but if we can manage to hang in there a bit longer in
Won
the
the second
first
half.
bit better defence, and hopefully get Sloan, Hunt and Bird humming. We can knock a few teams over and avoid that spoon. Maybe surprise a few people, but it seemed to be a little bit light in the forward pack, I thought, and it could potentially be a rough one for Dragons fans.
I haven't seen any. I haven't looked at the odds for what Dragons are to get the spoon, but I did look at one stage to see what Tigers were paying to make the grand final. Either to make the grand final, or I think make the eight. I can't remember, but it was $26 or something like that. And I was like, well, you could put a little bit of money on there. I think make the eight might have only been like $5, so it must have been grand final $26. Nothing too out the gate really, but very different. I guess turn of results for the Tigers. 36-4 win up against the Raiders. Now I got to watch most of this game. There was parts I was out picking up a feed and I ran out of data. I think I actually spent about $10 of data in that day trying to watch this game on my phone, but did get to see most of the part that I missed was the first half where really not much was going on. We sort of had a bit of I think they scored first. We had a little bit of a flourish near the end, but sort of second half we sort of played the footy that I'm hoping we're going to see most of the, I guess probably the first 25 of that second half really, because I think Clemmer and IPAT both got rested after that. We had a bit of a lead on, but a couple of really solid performances. I think Shenzi and Benji have got a bit of a conundrum there with Staines and Laurie as to who plays in the one. I think Mamalo, obviously, he went down with an injury after like 5 or 10 minutes, so he'll be missing that first week. And I think having that, you can rotate them as well. He rotated them both. Like Laurie had a bit of time out on the wing, and Staines moved back to one, and then Laurie played most of the game there, and so they can switch around. I think Laurie will probably start. But then another player who I thought had an awesome performance, Junior Tupou, who he came onto the wing there, and he was just he scored 2 tries, 2 really good finishes, looked awesome, and I think you'd find it hard not to have him involved. You've obviously got Noffa there as well. He played a little bit quiet, but I think the man of the match. I was really, really stoked with how David Clemmer played. I thought he was awesome. He seemed to be involved with every at least a couple of runs in each set, and then making him. I don't know how many tackles he made, but he made quite a few. And I thought, he had an awesome game. But Adam Dewey, I thought once he came off, we sort of looked a little bit disorganised. But he 40-20, I think he set up one of the tries. He just seemed to be everywhere, and he was looking like that sort of commanding player like he was when he was playing for Lebanon there in a couple of those games at the World Cup. But pretty solid performance, and a couple of those other young fellas who managed to get on and have a game. I thought Matamua, big hair on the bloke. You don't miss him. I thought he was awesome. He's going to be I think he'll be our rookie of the year. I think he's a bit of a shoe-in. Yeah, scored a try. He just really solid running. I'm looking forward to seeing him involved this year. Maybe a little bit unlucky possibly with the players that we've had come in. But yeah, all in all, 36-4 to score 36 unanswered points in a game of league. You can't be disappointed. I guess maybe one thing, Raiders didn't look that flash, but it doesn't matter if the team's not playing well. I'm sure if Penrith or someone like that weren't playing that flash, we're not going to win 36-4. But yeah, happy with the way the game went, and really looking forward to this this game up against the Titans next Sunday.
Yeah, look, I've heard that he may not be in the side this week or even the week after, but apparently Bateman is touching down in Australia this week, or maybe he already has. So yeah, more good news to come for Tigers fans there. And
clear and good to go. And I think Shenzi said he's not going to rush him in.
Takiri, I saw an article. Lottie Takiri's picking him in the week 1 lineup, but yeah, I think I think Shenzi's the man you want to talk to rather than
Lottie.
But Lottie Takiri's hoping that he can do something similar to what he did in Tigers colours. I believe he scored a try on his first touch as a Tiger.
I don't know. I'm just googling him right now. To be fair, having a little gaze at the bloke.
Have a look. See if it says it.
How many games did he play for us? 52.
Return to rugby league.
In his return to rugby league, he scored a try on his first touch of the ball and at least one try in each of his first 3. I do remember that, like having that run.
First try of the ball. First
touch of the
ball. He scored a try. Good on him.
Yeah, that's how many tries did he get for us there? 27 tries in 52 games.
Not a bad strike, right?
Yeah, not at all. It's more than a game every 2 games. You know, yeah.
Try every 2 games. Yeah.
No, good on him. That's I didn't know that stat. I've never seen that.
He's
before.
picking Bateman in his round 1 lineup, so there you go. Shout out Lottie.
If you love buzzy stats, so there you go, and you want to be going with someone like that, yeah, I don't see him starting. I think, what was that lineup? Probably like, obviously Mamalo injured. I don't know. I haven't read. I don't know if he's injured. I don't know what the fuck's happening with Brooks. I don't know why he's
not been playing.
Like,
I think he is injured. I think I read somewhere he is injured.
Wakeham's looked alright, to be fair. He had another pretty solid game the other day. As he prepares to pre-season carpentry. Fuck, I hadn't even read about that. So I don't know if he starts. I mean, if he's fit, he probably starts, but I don't think he starts. I think they'll play like that. Mamalo drops out. Staines slots in on the wing, or Junior Tupou, and then is Appy good to go? I think he's good to go. I believe.
I'm not too sure.
As far as I'm aware, so he slots in there for Simpkin, and I think probably you'd bring. I'd probably start Sean Bloor over Kepa over there at second row, and that's my team. Twile on the bench. You got to bring some other Matamua jumps in there. Yeah, we had this other fella, Itasi James. That's the dude. Played at Broncos, I believe, last year. I think, and he played and he was awesome. Did he play? I don't know where he played last year. But yeah, it was a new signing, and had a really, really awesome game. But it's probably. We did.
Apart from that,
a couple of other games we saw a little bit of. We watched a little bit of that Titans Dolphins game.
Yeah, Dolphins Gold Coast.
Dolphins look terrible, and Titans look pretty good. I think, to be fair.
Yeah, look, I think. Judging from the last couple of rounds of just watching the highlights, you've probably just got your usual candidates from last year there. Cowboys obviously struggling a little bit this pre-season, but wouldn't put it past them.
Sure, they'll be up there.
Having a good season again. Yeah. Along with obviously Manly doing well, winning the comp, and Gold Coast, they look pretty good in that last game there.
I don't see them pushing for any premierships. But
not pushing for the premierships. I'm just saying they could be in for a good season.
First 20 minutes, that Cam Pereira had scored a hat trick.
A good start to the season, at least.
I tuned in about then, and then the bloody commentators said, David Fafita hasn't really been involved in too much on the attack. And then boom, like that play, I think it was, David Fafita makes a break and then sets up bloody Jojo Fafita for the first of his couple of tries, and they just seem to be popping up all over the park in that first half, and Dolphins managed to get a couple of tries there, throughout that second half to sort of a little bit of respect. What was the final score was lots to not many.
Yeah, look, it looks like it could possibly
40-16.
Yeah, it could possibly be a rough year for them. Along with, like you said, Canberra weren't looking very flash, and I hate to say it, the Dragons, particularly in that last game, we'll have to see how that sort of pans out there for the spoon battle, but I'm sure Wayne Bennett and Sticky will have something to say about it at the helms of the Dolphins and Raiders, respectively.
Yeah.
There, but look, someone's got to get it, and I'd hate for it to be us.
We're not going to go 2 in a row. I'm pretty certain.
I don't think we go 2 in a row. Look, I like to think with players like Ben Hunt, Jack Bird, I keep saying it.
I don't see Ben Hunt being a player to get a win spoon.
Yeah, look, he's almost got us into the 8 the last couple of years.
Single-handedly.
So if he can get a bit of help, you never know what might just happen. But yeah, that's probably about it in terms of the NRL there. Unless there was anything else that you've seen
nothing
lately.
that desperately springs to mind, but I guess it's time to... Where are we? I'm on the other side today. Tune into a bit of the Arsenal.
Bit of the Arsenal there, yeah.
Now, obviously, first game to take a bit of a look at, that game there up against City.
Last Thursday or Friday was it our time? Maybe it was Thursday.
Thursday, I think, yeah.
Yeah. This one was strange. I mean, we did pretty well there in the first half, especially managing to come back into the game after conceding a bit of a hectic first goal. Probably just want Tomiyasu to sort of whack that one, as Righty said, into row Z there, and not bother with the dodgy pass back to Ramsdale, which De Bruyne managed to sneak himself onto the end of, and what a finish it was though.
It was a really good finish, but yeah, I think you do want... I know that Arteta wants to sort of play that style of football and play it out from the fucking most stressful positions. But yeah, you've me as a keeper. That's me, and that's fucking Ben Wilkes at right back. I'm buying his head off, man. I'm fucking, I'm abusing the bloke.
It's not a pass you want as a keeper.
I got fucking a pass back from Ben Wilkes at right back and got munched in a game against Auckland Grammar at home one time.
I might not have been there then.
Absolutely fucking chomped, and I played it to him, and he just passed it straight back to me with the striker running in on me. Boom, I went to clear it, and fucking this dude just came in and chomped me, took my ankles out. No, not a nice one. So yeah, I mean, it is one that you want Tomiyasu just to get rid of. But it's, it was his first goal in 13 games, I think it was, for De Bruyne. He hadn't managed to score for a wee while, so it was a nice finish. But we managed to, lots of talk about this one, lots of people saying it was clear and lots of people saying it was not a pen. You can see both ways, I guess.
See, I think it should be a penalty because this referee explained that he's not coming out to make a save as a goalkeeper with his hands. He's coming out to make a block with his feet as a defender, which is, if a defender does that, it's a penalty any day of the week. If he's diving down,
different,
and Eddie shoots and then trips over him afterwards or something, then yeah, that's different.
But if he doesn't,
but if he's coming out and trying to block the ball with his feet, and misses and takes out Eddie, I think that's a pen. So,
but if he doesn't connect, that ball was gone. Was it not?
What do you mean?
I want to have a little relook at the footage.
Eddie toe pokes it past him, and Edison rushes out to try and make a block.
And it blew for a pen, but the ball had already gone out, eh?
I think they scrambled it off the line.
Oh, they did too. That's right. I'm gonna have a quick look. You carry on there. I'm gonna have a quick look at this one.
Saka managed to slot it home to bring it level. I thought we were playing really well in the first half, managing to get the better of the game. Just watch that highlights video; it'll have it.
Yeah.
But yeah, I thought we were doing really well in that first half to sort of dominate the play and probably look the better side.
Nice to see Saka. Edison obviously, telling him where he's putting that pen, and Saka just fucking slotting it out.
I didn't see that.
Edison. It'll pop up here. So.
See, that's
okay.
like a full-on body check. That's not like you're not making a save as a goalie there.
But the only thing is though, as well, if Edison doesn't connect with him right there, Eddie is not going to make any difference in what happens. So I can see why it doesn't get given. Like in terms of the fact that like he's going completely away from goal, nearly.
Yeah, but you can't barge into someone on a football pitch.
You can't barge into someone, but goalies do often
in the box.
Goalies do often get the benefit of the doubt in a situation like that, and like when you look at like.
But they shouldn't get the benefit of the doubt if they're rushing out to smother the ball and they're not first to the ball.
Yeah, I'm a little bit dubious of it, to be fair, but there's the.
I just think it's kind of weird because if it's a defender, it's a penalty any day of the week.
Yes, it's hard to see.
He's not like using his hands in any way.
Well, he's
like jumped at him and made contact with his feet.
Yeah, I still like I can see why like a ref wouldn't give it. You know what I mean? Like, and it's one of those things. I think if it fucking hard, but on the occasion, I was very, very happy. That's for sure.
Yeah,
very stoked.
I think it's never really been given before, but I think it's a case by case basis sort of thing there when you're sort of taking out the striker's feet, whether it is sort of the genuine momentum of you trying to make a save. Following through, or whether you are coming out to, try and make a block, and you take out the player's feet. It's a foul by any of the other 10 players, so I don't know. Yeah, it's interesting to see how it plays out. Not one you see all the time.
No, not really.
But yeah, like you said, happy it was for us rather than against us.
Exactly.
I'm sure if it was against us, I'd be finding some way to
and I
say
think
it wasn't a pen.
That would be my argument. Is just he's like that. If he doesn't clatter him there, nothing changes. Like, and if it had been like that was fucking Edison fucking Ramsdale up against Haaland, I would have said, well, if Haaland hadn't got taken out there. Maybe Haaland's probably the sort of freak that would have been able to get there, but any other fucking bloke not going to have any say in that getting to the line. Different if it was like right in front of if it was in the vicinity of like the fucking what do you call it, the goal, and that area. Different, I reckon. Yeah, but like the fact that he was miles away from the goal by that stage. Not that it mattered in the end, unfortunately. Anyway, we couldn't fucking.
Second half was definitely a lot flatter.
I don't know if it was maybe we just tried to. I don't know what it was, but obviously we weren't really up to it, and unfortunately the teacher managed to take one over the student again.
Yeah, Pep over Arteta there wasn't the best performance from the lads. Maybe just one or two. Many mistakes trying to play out from the back once too often. And look, City are the team that will definitely punish you if you make those mistakes, which sucked. But look, shows why they the current Premier League champions, and they've been champions more often than not over the last 10 years. Yeah, it's definitely going to take some doing to end up pipping them to the big one at the end of the season there. I thought that Eddie had a couple of chances that he might want to do a little bit better with.
Oh, yeah.
Just before the De Bruyne goal, he blazes a header wide, and I think a little bit later on at maybe 1-1 or 2-1, he blazed a header wide as well. So yeah, it was, probably could have been a better performance from the lads and maybe a different result with the fight that we saw in the first half there, but the second half, City deserved that one, I guess, and showed why we haven't beat them in how long in the Premier League, like freaking 12 games, 14 games.
Some stupid run.
Something ridiculous, but we managed to bounce back quite well.
What a game. This was as I'm sitting here picking my nails, this was a nail biter. This was a stressful fucking game to watch, and I got to see more of that second half than I did the first. But yeah, it just I think that first half, that might have been some of the worst defending I'd seen us do all season probably so far.
Yeah, it was a bit of a shaky first half, in all honesty. Pretty, like you said, pretty poor defending for those 2 goals particularly. But look, you got to give Aston Villa some credit. They were pretty well worked goals. Nice little through ball to Ollie Watkins from Matty Cash, and
that was a nice ball.
Does Saliba brilliantly there. I mean, Saliba's been an awesome defender all year. It's no mean feat to skin him in the box and get your shot away and bury it past Ramsdale there. And then the second goal was an awesome little move, cut back. But
yeah,
you would have liked to have a few more red shirts or whatever shirt we were playing in.
Black.
Finney
was loving it. He said he'd been keen on a kit like that, the old black and gold.
A few more, black shirts in and around, marking up, defending, making some better decisions there. But Villa seemed to be a much better side with old Mr. Good Evening, Unai Emery, compared to Stevie G in charge.
Yeah, very different. Obviously, like pretty different styles of play. I think probably is the main thing there, and probably a couple of different players being involved as well as a bit of an impact. But I thought they did look a little bit better than what I'd seen, I guess, over them throughout the season, and obviously managed to get those couple of goals, and it was a pretty nervy game. I think that second half we definitely came out a lot more fired up, that's for sure.
Yeah, I mean, apart from Saka's awesome finish in the first half there, we were doing our usual, keeping the ball pretty well, but didn't manage to create too many of the best clear-cut chances. But in that second half, it was, like you said, much, much better, and completely sort of dominated the play and the chances and attempts at goal, and created heaps of half openings there. And you mentioned Eddie's one the other day that I couldn't remember, but then I remembered it later that night. He was slotted through on goal after an awesome little Odegaard just skipped over a challenge and then pinged the ball real early, and Eddie was clean through on goal, but his touch just let him down there in that one. But looked like things were going to end in heartbreak for the Arse after that, and also after Odegaard blazed one wide in about the 83rd minute, and pretty much an open goal there, but wasn't to be. Agent Emi Martinez is helping us out a little bit off the back of...
What a strike from Jorginho, unreal.
It was like such a good shot. Unlucky that it didn't get in off the crossbar, or just in the first place, but same result in the end, and it also allowed for Martinelli to roll into an empty net after Emi Martinez came up for the corner in the last minute trying to get the equaliser for Villa there. So hopefully that's us sort of back on track for a little wee while before we get back into the City games. The City game coming up in a few weeks. I think we have Leicester coming up next, then maybe Everton. Not sure if City's
Leicester,
after
Everton,
that.
Bournemouth,
Fulham, Palace.
But then we don't have
Where is City? What is that? BBC. That might be wrong. Anyway.
Well, I'll see what the old Google says. I thought we had City.
Villa had a chance there at 2-2 though. Ramsdale maybe pushing one from Leon Bailey onto the
we just played
crossbar.
City. The City game's April.
I thought we had them again.
No, we did. We played them twice. We had the cup.
I thought we had them 3 times right next to each other.
Nah, they're a bit later on. Maybe that got moved as well. But we must have a bloody we'll have a Europa League game popping up soon.
Yes,
weeks.
Well, tomorrow morning they'll have the last leg
going
of the round of 32.
Yep.
And then it will be a draw, I suppose, on the following night, or maybe just following.
It might usually it's like night time, the draw.
Saturday night?
Well, they might
Friday
do it
night?
that following day.
Like Saturday morning over in Europe.
No,
So
Saturday.
night.
It'll be there Saturday morning here. Wait, yeah, Saturday morning our time. No, sorry. Friday night our time. Friday morning over there. The day after, like fucking. I think that's
Friday
how they'll
morning,
do it.
yeah.
Because usually, we'd watch the draws, but it's like usually about 1 o'clock or some shit like that.
Yeah, and it's quite late at night, isn't it?
Pretty sure, yeah. But before we got to look into anything like that, we've got Leicester that we've got to get into before then, and it's a game. It's a team, I guess, that we've managed to go all right with over the years. Obviously that season there where they won the league, we got them twice, but Vardy always likes to get a goal, and kind of I guess it's
Ian Archer's been an awesome
It's
form.
a disappointing season for Leicester, though, I guess, to be fair, to be where they are. Probably hoping to be a little bit higher up the table, I would imagine.
Yeah, look, sitting in 14th, I believe, at the moment. But to be honest, bit of a tough nut to crack, the old Leicester one. Do we see the side that beat Spurs 4-1, for example, show up? That was only a couple of weeks ago there. Or do we see the side that lost 3-0 to United?
Yeah, exactly.
The other day?
Two completely different outings for them, and two pretty different performances. So, I think we've had a bit of a rest. We haven't had to play this week, which has been nice. Obviously, Leicester haven't as well, but a bit of a rest, and I think we go out there and play. Do you think Tomiyasu starts, or do they bring Ben White back in?
I'm not too sure, because Ben White started against Villa. But, yeah, would there be any reason why he wouldn't start against Leicester? I mean,
oh yeah, Tomiyasu. Oh yeah, I'm getting my games mixed up. I was
it's not
thinking,
even that game. That's 2-1.
oh shit, yeah, that is not the right game. I'm still getting my games
Ben
mixed
White
up.
started, didn't he?
I'm still getting my games mixed up regardless. So I'm getting my Tomiyasu performance of the City game mixed up with the most recent Villa. I think looking at that lineup, you're probably going out. Maybe Martinelli starts. Trossard didn't really do too much while he was on.
Yeah, I mean, it's tough because some of our players do look a bit tired.
Ben White and Martinelli.
But you don't want to change what's been working so well as well. Probably no need to rush Thomas Partey back if he's not fit. Thought Jorginho was awesome, not just because of the loose strike that we mentioned, but
He did have
mopping up and doing all that shit work that a CDM
an
does.
awesome performance. So
But yeah, look, hopefully Martinelli is feeling nice and fresh after starting on the bench up against Villa and is ready for a big one here up against Leicester. Yeah, hopefully the lads can get out there and get the job done after a stuttery few weeks, to say the least. I mean, February's normally a month that does the Arsenal in, and it's proven to be a similar sort of theme this month. But hopefully that late win against Villa gets us going, and yeah, another run of dubs to follow.
yeah,
hopefully.
some slightly easier fixtures, so it'd be nice to hopefully.
So keep that gap at the top, which was extended thanks to
Chris
our main
Wood.
man down under, big Chrissy Wood, yeah.
Bloody awesome, mate. To see that he'd scored that equaliser, first goal for Notts Forest. It's awesome to see.
As a Kiwi Gooner, there's probably
it's-
not many better feelings.
So thank you, Chris Wood. We really appreciate it. But yeah, I'm thinking we can get out there and get the win. Now, have you managed to find any value at all over throughout Neds at all?
Well, my bet for this week, there's a few components to it, 3 components. Arsenal to win, to make that win by more than 1. I guess that's one component when you're betting, but Arsenal to win by more than 1, and to our skipper, Martin Odegaard, to make up for a couple of, I don't want to say flat, but not up to his usual standards
performances
of this year. Particularly missing that open goal there. I'm backing him to get on the score sheet. That's going to bring you in a nice and cool $6.69. So, dinner for 2, $69.
There you are.
Don't know what else to say about that one. Get involved, punters.
No,
Have you found anything?
I've just jumped on and had a little look.
On Ned's there.
Now, I said earlier that my big darts bet's going to be coming in near the end of the show. Now, I've just gone nice and easy with this one. He's due a game. He's due a goal. Like we said, he's missed a few sitters recently, and that's the big man up top himself, Eddie Nketiah.
Yeah.
Eddie Nketiah to score a goal, $2.88.
$2.88, nice and simple.
It's all we're after. Well, this will be after the darts, so it's just to top up the kitty, I guess. The kitty. Sorry. But yeah. Fingers crossed that he gets away, comes in and can nab himself a goal, and there you go. If it's Arsenal to win, Odegaard and Eddie score those 2 goals, and we get a clean sheet, your bets come through, my bets come through. So
Happy as Larry.
Eddie to score, $2.88, and just quickly the last little bit of Arsenal news that I've seen this morning. I don't know if it was this morning or yesterday, and it's awesome news to be fair. The longest serving current Arsenal player has just signed a new deal with the club, and Mohamed El Neni. I don't know if you've seen that or not.
1 year deal,
Yeah, he's signed a new deal, and he's extending his time there with the club. Our longest serving player currently, and I can still remember his first goal. Barcelona, I'm pretty sure. Was it Barcelona?
Yeah, he scored a good goal against Barca in the group stages.
Yep. An unreal goal, and I think that was his first goal for Arsenal. So shout out to him. Signing on for a little bit longer, and hopefully we see him back from injury soon as well, because it'd be nice to have him as a little bit of cover there now with Partey, the way that he sort of can frequently drop out. So fingers crossed that we're gonna have a full contingent soon, and have everyone
Competing
fit
on all fronts.
fit and ready to go as we get into the nitty gritty of the season. But probably about it in terms of the footy. Now, as always, we'll have a brief foray into a couple of other sports. And now the cricket, obviously, back here on our shores. We welcomed England. Mount Maunganui?
Yes.
That was Mount Maunganui, yeah. Now, I probably listened to more of this. Maybe not. Might have watched a bit more, but I listened to quite a bit of it. And not the best performance. What I thought was quite funny was this must have started Wednesday?
Yeah.
and it was Sunday, and they were saying, usually you were expecting to have the cricket still on at this time or something like that. And what was it, day 3, session 2, done and dusted?
I think so, yeah.
Not the flashiest performance really from the Black Caps on this one, was it?
Yeah, I mean, this England side, yeah, they look a damn good team, to be honest. Yeah, not the flashes from the Black Caps on the one hand, but they just sort of completely outplayed us in all facets of the game. In this one, they were more dangerous with their bowling and continuing those sort of high run rates that they've been known for under Brendan McCullum's coaching. Kind of put the pressure on the Black Caps when they were bowling as well. Although, look, it's probably kind of hard to fully gauge it, because I guess the conditions sort of really suited the England side there. They came out, got their 300 on the board really quick, and
what was it, 3 wickets down, I think it was, before
got us
days in, 35 for 3.
Really dangerous zone, and then it happened again in the second innings.
Yeah.
So it was like 30 for
I think
5.
I'd said something like this is going to happen, the exact same thing again.
So it's pretty hard to bat when they're sort of landing it in those areas against a swinging pink ball. So I think the red down in Wellington might be a little bit less bowler friendly. But
When's that start? Tomorrow?
Yeah, we'll have to certainly pick up our game a lot from what we showed at the Mount if we're going to run them close in this one. But a couple of lads who did pretty well there, especially in the first innings there. Shout out to Tommy Blundell with his highest test score there, turning up, and Devon Conway, who got about 70 odd. But we're going to need probably a couple of hundreds and a big one or two at that to get up over this England side, unless we go out there and have one of those famed Black Caps bowling performances where we turn the tables and have them 29 for 5 or whatever it was.
Outrageous,
But look, I'm doubling down this week. I've gone back to the bookies and I've said, have my money on the Black Caps. It's paying a lot more than the English. I think they're paying about $1.50 to win, and the Black Caps $3.25. So yeah, I back the boys to bounce back and square the series up against the Poms. It'll be tough, but look, a couple more wickets early on, put them under pressure so they don't score so many runs so quick, and yeah, some more good performances with the bat, and we'll be away laughing.
Fingers crossed, for the Black Caps that we can come away with something a little bit better, because it wasn't the best watch, and we don't want to sort of be continuing on in that sort of form, that's for sure. But as we take a quick look at the NBA, we obviously we're treated to All-Star Weekend over the weekend, and I kind of forgot all about it. The only thing I've actually really seen is that that fella with the gnarly dunks winning the dunk contest.
Yeah, Mac McClung, is it?
Yeah.
Shout out, Mac McClung.
I think he had like 50s on every dunk.
Insane, yeah.
Or maybe one was a 49.7 because someone fucking scooped him out. But I think that's how it went. Then we had Dame slotting the threes.
Yeah, winning the 3-point contest there.
And Team Giannis taking the win.
Yeah.
Was that in the skill challenge, was it?
No, I don't know. There was a Team Giannis in the skill challenge. It was an
Antetokounmpo.
Team Giannis versus Team LeBron in the All-Star game.
Okay. But it was Antetokounmpo versus the Heat.
Yeah, there was 3 of the brothers.
Yeah.
It was buzzy.
Something trippy, yeah. So
it's a bit of a weird All-Star weekend. Yeah, I didn't really tune in for a lot of it.
Yeah, I can't say I got really heavily involved.
Caught a fair few of the highlights, and it's always interesting. Not the most competitive basketball, but always good to tune into that dunk contest, I reckon. They pull out some wacky shit, that's for sure. But as we look to return from the All-Star weekend and get into the crunch time of the season. The Knicks currently sitting in 6th spot there and 33 and 27. So hopefully we can continue and make a playoff spot rather than a play-in spot.
It's us this weekend.
Oh, Saturday
after golf.
That's us.
Well, I've got the fucking
TGIF Derby, Game Pass.
I've got the Game Pass, so we can tune on in. Wizards up against Knicks, 1 p.m. That's how good.
Wizards currently in 9th, so it should be
28
a good game.
and 30 up against 33 and 27 and 6th there. Now, we had no one involved in the All-Star weekend. I believe you only had Julius Randle.
Julius Randle, yeah, he was All-Star and three-pointer.
Oh, yeah, the three-point as well.
Yep.
Nice.
Yep, didn't make it to the final, but
we didn't have one bloke involved. Oh yeah, there you go. So we'll let you know how that goes. Always like to tune into the odd game of basketball here, there, and everywhere, and so it'd be good to have a little bit of a derby match.
Should you?
Now,
up the Knicks.
What you've all been waiting for, if you've made it this far, we're an hour in. We're slightly gone over, I guess, we would be aiming for recently. Now, this weekend, I guess first of all, actually, before we get into that, last weekend we had the third night of the Premier League, week 3, I believe you may want to be calling it, and we also had a little bit of Players' Championship. Now, I believe Big Dirk managed to get himself the win in one of the Players' Championships against Ryan Searle, and I can't remember who it was who won the third one, but third night of the Premier League, we managed to see a third winner. We've had 3 different winners so far. Fuck, where is it? I can't even see it. Can you see? Oh, Premier League. God, blimey, hell, I'm blind. A new winner. Now, Michael Smith managing to get his first win in the Premier League this time around, and as I said before, I managed to snag a little bit of moolah along the way. But this weekend, we've got tomorrow morning here, our time, about 8 through to 11, 8 to 12 sort of thing. We've got the night 4, and that is where I've brought you this abomination of a bet, really. But I also didn't realise that we've also got darts. These lads, all but Dobie, I believe, are all off to Germany the day after. They've got the Baltic, first of the European tours, I believe it said there. Baltic Open. I hadn't seen anything about. I knew it was coming up, but I didn't know it was that close to the Premier League. So yeah, that starts on the following day, and what's that? You've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Yep, 7 of the 8. So all but Chris Dobie making the trip over there to Germany. So that'll be good to watch. You've got the top 16 currently in the world, and a few other players there. Maybe players, someone like Ricky Evans could be. He's always good to watch if you're managing to tune in. One of the quickest darts players there is. But good to see Barney there playing. James Wade will be involved. Adrian Lewis, I'm sure he'll be keen to try and get himself involved as well, making it further into the tournament and hopefully picking up a win against one of the seeded players. But we may as well get into it. Now, I've won a bet the last couple of weeks. I tuned in today. I wanted to have a look. I thought I'll put my $10 on and I'll get in early so I can get all 4 games in. Now, first game, we've got Michael Smith up against Peter Wright. Michael Smith obviously coming off the win last week, and Peter Wright without a win so far in any of his 3 appearances in the league this year. So I've Michael Smith, King of the Yoki. Just a quick reminder, that's to win the match, most 180 and the highest checkout. Paying at $4 to put him as my first leg of my multi. Then we have Gerwin Price up against Dimitri Vandenberg. Now, probably the game I'm most worried about here. Dimi making the final last week. Not really, probably got his best darts out the way early on. But I've gone for Gizzy. Even though I rock the Vandenberg darts, I've gone for Gizzy here. Now that's $5. I don't know what that added my total up to. Then I got to game 3. Johnny Clayton up against Aspinall. Now Johnny Clayton managed to find a little bit better form last week. compared to what he had shown over the last couple of appearances. But the Asp always seems to do well when it comes to the Premier League, and he's been in good form. And I nearly bought one of his shirts the other day as well, so I've gone for him. I put him in. That's it, paying another $5. Now that put my total. That was my odds were $100 then by that stage, because we're 4 times 5 is 20. 5 times 5 we're looking there at the 100, and then boom, I've gone MVG to take it out against Chris Dobie as well. We times that 100 by 3.25. You're getting $325 back. Now you're putting $10 on, you're getting $3,250 back, and then you're price boosting it up in that odds to 389.80. You're nearly bringing back $4,000.
And when that comes off, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to be fucking off to Rarotonga.
Rarotonga, we've locked it in. I thought of it today that if that comes off, first week of the school holidays, we're going to go to Rarotonga. I'm just going to fucking lie on the beach. We've missed the summer. We haven't had a summer. I've never been to Rarotonga. I know that there's a bar or an RSA there that has a dartboard. So we'll go and have a beer. I'll take my Burko shirt with me, and
We'll be having a few beers, I'd say, in Rarotonga.
Definitely at least one at the RSA. Now, I don't know, maybe not an RSA. That doesn't. I think would they have an RSA in Tonga? In Rarotonga, sorry.
I don't know.
I'm sure there's return servicemen from the Cook Islands, and
yeah, probably.
But I don't know. Is that a New Zealand Aussie thing, an RSA? I mean, we're heavily influenced. I mean, the Pacific Islands, like you said, might have influence, you know?
Or possibly even, just like some Kiwi fella that made one over there, you know?
I just overheard some blokes at darts, the Return Servicemen Association, right by the fucking domestic terminal, bro.
Thanks. Right by the airport.
Right in there, where it could be the first beer that we have in Rarotonga. Hey,
straight off the plane.
We've got
the RSA.
We've got to get there first, bro. That's old mate from school, Josh Murray. That's his family's Witchman. Josh Murray? I'm sure you're not listening, but if you are, let us know if we're right or I'm right. Witchman, that's a relative of yours, I believe. So we'll be saying, mate, we know fucking these blokes. But I'm starting to dribble. Basically, if you want, get on Neds. I don't know if the TAB has this. I don't know if Bet365 has this, the old king of the hockey. I'm sure they do. But get on Michael Smith, Gerwin Price, Nathan Aspinall, MVG, chuck $10 on, and
you're bringing home $4,000 and you're coming to Rarotonga with us.
Yeah, come to Rarotonga with us. You're more than welcome. As we say every time, there's a seat here. I'm a little bit slouched today, so there's not much room. But it's the end of the week. It's tiring. We're nearly there. And I'll probably wraps us up before I go on and say anything too much else. But it's been good to have a little bit of the league back, and I'm bloody looking forward to next week being able to tune in and watch all the footy we can.
1 week to go until we'll be
this time next week. We'll be mentally. I'll be mentally prepared. I'll be mentally prepared. I'd say by this time next week.
Gearing ourselves up for kickoff, as you do as a footy player. Or a footy watcher on the couch like ourselves.
And what a game. Eels Melbourne.
Yeah. Beautiful game to kick us off
Melbourne. There. It'll be a great game. So really looking forward to that one. But thank you for tuning in and listening and putting up with our bullshit. Thank you for following us, giving us your likes, your comments, your subscriptions on all the social medias.
Yeah, enjoy the week ahead, and make sure if you haven't subscribed to the social media channels or the podcast there on whichever platform it is you consume your talent, as this man just said, bloody do it. And make sure if you're punting along, don't put too much on it. You don't want to be after a house off this darts bet. It's just Rarotonga only.
Yeah,
so,
$10. If you show us your bet and you've put more than $10 on, you can't come.
Yeah, probably actually.
Even 11. Because I'll be gutted. I didn't put 20 on. So any more than 10, any less than nothing. We are. We're saying
you can chuck
whatever you want.
A cent.
Bet responsibly. A cent, that's going to get you back $3.25. So
It's a good return.
good
on a
return.
cent.
Yeah, exactly. So
That's probably it, though.
I
Thank you
guess
very
it is.
much.
See you next week.
Ciao.
Marshall skips away. Marshall skips away. Marshall's still going. Marshall's got Richards coming up outside. Now inside.
Arsenal have gone through an entire league campaign without losing.
Bennett and the Dragons win the grand final.
Whips that one away, and Kane Williamson and his team now world test champions.